Few things are more disturbing than horror stories drawn from real-life tragedies, events that shattered families and left behind chilling echoes that still haunt our collective memory. One such case is the nightmare that unfolded within the walls of the infamous Amityville home, a place forever linked to two families, the DeFeos and the Lutzes. Long before the tales of demonic forces and haunted walls, the house on Ocean Avenue bore witness to an unspeakable act. In the autumn of 1974, a shocking crime unfolded that would horrify the nation. The DeFeo family, already known for their internal turmoil, would be torn apart in one brutal night, leaving behind only one survivor, the very person responsible for the bloodshed. Ronald DeFeo, sir, was often described as controlling and abusive, a man whose volatile temper ruled the household. His son, Ronald Butch DeFeo Jr., had long struggled under the weight of that oppression. On the night of November 13, 1974, Butch snapped. With calculated precision, he crept through the home with a rifle in hand, murdering 6 of his family members as they slept, forever etching the Amityville house into the annals of American horror. One of the most unsettling aspects of the massacre was how eerily undisturbed the scene appeared. Despite the brutal killings occurring within an estimated 15-minute window, the victims showed no signs of struggle. Even more bizarre, the deafening sounds of gunfire never seemed to rouse the household, or if they did, no one left their beds, adding to the mystery. The rifle used in the murders had no silencer. Yet, aside from the family dog's frantic barking, neighbors heard nothing. Not a single gunshot pierced the night. Under mounting pressure during police interrogation, Ronald Butch DeFeo Jr. finally cracked. Admitting to the brutal murders of his family, he led authorities to where he had discarded the murder weapon and his blood-stained clothes. In his chilling confession, he stated, "Once I started, I just couldn't stop. It went so fast." Speculation soon arose that Butch had been driven by sinister voices urging him to kill. However, during the trial, the prosecution's psychiatrist refuted these claims, diagnosing DeFeo with antisocial personality disorder. The expert testified that Butch was neither hearing voices nor possessed. He simply lacked a moral compass and felt no remorse for his actions. With the Amityville home forever stained by its gruesome history, many wondered if the violence had left behind something more, a lingering presence, a restless energy trapped within its walls. But it wouldn't be long before the house's new owners, the Lutz family, would claim to experience the horrors for themselves. After a long and exhausting search for their dream home, George and Kathy Lutz stumbled upon a listing they couldn't resist, unaware that it was the infamous DeFeo residence. The house, a striking colonial with a distinctive gambrel roof, boasted 6 bedrooms, a heated pool, and a spacious boathouse overlooking the Amityville River. Though the asking price of $80,000 exceeded their original budget of $30,000 to $50,000, something about the property captivated them. Even after learning about the tragic events that had taken place inside, the Lutzes felt drawn to the home. The past didn't deter them. In fact, it seemed like an opportunity. They sealed the deal, purchasing the house at what they considered a bargain price. Little did they know their dream home would soon become a nightmare, one that would captivate the world and cement the Amityville house as a legend of terror. Their chilling experiences would later be immortalized in Jay Anson's infamous book, The Amityville Horror, which brought their terrifying ordeal to the public eye. Before moving into the Amityville house, George Lutz was a successful and hard-working businessman. However, shortly after settling in, he began to change. He became lethargic, irritable, and withdrawn, plagued by a constant chill that seemed to seep into his bones, adding to his growing unease. George found himself waking up at exactly 3:15 a.m. every night, unable to fall back asleep. He would later discover that this was the approximate time when the DeFeo family murders had occurred. The eerie disturbances didn't stop with George. One night, he was startled to see his 5-year-old daughter, Missy, standing by her bedroom window. Behind her, he witnessed the terrifying outline of a pig-like figure with glowing red eyes. Yet, when he rushed to her room, he found her soundly asleep. Soon after, Missy began talking about a new, invisible friend named Jody, who she claimed was a pig that visited her room. But perhaps the most disturbing incident occurred when George glanced at his wife Kathy while she slept, only to see her face twisted and transformed into that of a withered elderly woman. It was as if the house was draining the life from her before his eyes. The nightmare inside 112 Ocean Avenue had only just begun. The sinister grip of the Amityville home seemed to manifest most disturbingly through Kathy Lutz. She would experience terrifying episodes where her face appeared to age rapidly, transforming her into someone unrecognizable. This chilling change was even witnessed by her own mother. But Kathy wasn't the only target of the home's horrors. The house itself became a theater of unexplainable events. Doors were ripped from their hinges, and during the dead of winter, rooms became infested with swarms of flies. Outside, cloven hoofprints appeared mysteriously in the snow. Inside, an oozing green slime seeped from the walls without explanation. One of the most unsettling discoveries came from the basement, a secret room not found on the original house plans. The walls of this hidden space were painted a deep blood red, and the cramped area was only large enough for 2 people to sit closely together. George recalled attempting to bring their family dog into the space, only to witness something that deeply unsettled him. He just wouldn't go in. He backed away. "It's the only time I can ever remember him cowering from something," he said. Even those outside the family felt the house's wrath. A priest, called upon by the Lutz family to bless the home, became severely ill after entering and experienced strange phenomena that left him shaken. The Lutz family's new home had become anything but a sanctuary. It was a prison of terror, one they would soon realize they had to escape. Author J. Anson credited a pivotal meeting with the priest involved in the Lutz family's ordeal as the moment he knew he had to write the Amityville horror, because it was corroboration. This was actually happening to someone. This wasn't The Exorcist or The Omen. On January 14, 1976, after just 28 harrowing days in their Amityville home, the Lutz family fled in terror. Their departure was so abrupt that they left behind nearly all their belongings, never to return. Reflecting on that night in a 2005 interview, George Lutz recalled the chaos and confusion of their escape. "We didn't get up to leave that morning, you need to understand that. This was our house, we lived there. When we left, we didn't know we weren't coming back." The Lutz family's chilling experiences, as recounted to J. Anson, became the foundation for his 1977 book, The Amityville Horror, which quickly became a cultural phenomenon. The Los Angeles Times praised the book as both fascinating and frightening. Beyond its supernatural terror, The Amityville horror struck a deeper chord with readers by reflecting the real-life anxieties of a nation facing political unrest, economic collapse, and personal hardship. The Lutz family's ordeal, haunted not only by spirits, but also by inflation, a failing business, and an IRS investigation, mirrored the struggles of many Americans in the 1970 set. Their story blurred the line between fiction and reality, making the horror feel unsettlingly close to home. Though skeptics still debate the truth behind the events, the house's dark legacy, rooted in a real mass murder, remains undeniable. The tale endures as a chilling reminder that some possessions carry more than just sentimental value. They come with a price. 4